there, back out with the Slingshots today. I'm just going to compare the Barnett Slingshots and just shoot them at a target and basically see which one I find more accurate to shoot, and even if they are as accurate as each other, see which one I find more comfortable to shoot. So I've got the Barnett Diablo and the Barnett Cobra, and then I'll have a couple of shots after with, this is the Barnett Black Widow slingshot, which is a small folding slingshot which is easy to fit in your pocket. So I'll try that out. It's not one I've shot before, but we'll see how we got on with that. Perhaps in a future video I'll also try this really old Milbro slingshot I've got, which I haven't got a sling for. That's as basic as it gets really. That's just one piece aluminium with a little thumb grip. Okay, the first one I'm going to shoot is the Diablo. This is my newest slingshot. I've got paintballs which I've used in some previous videos, and I'm just going to shoot one on the left hand side and then use that as a target, and I'll fire 10 with each slingshot then to compare them. So I hit the exact same spot then. I like the way this one shoots straight away. Bad grouping so far. I'm not very far away, I'm only about 8 yards away here. Okay, that's 10 with that one. That's one blob target hit with the Diablo. See if I can do the same with the Cobra and keep it in one circle. Okay, got the Cobra this time. I fitted the same sling on this one, so they both got the same slings. I've got one that's miles off, put that down to human error I suppose. So that's a much more open pattern, and this is the first time I've shot this sling today, so one thing I don't know is whether they'll probably get more stretchier the more you use them, because this is definitely a tighter sling. So that's a win for the Diablo there, but possibly not quite a fair test. Even though they got the same bands as I said, perhaps I should have broken this one in a bit more. Perhaps someone can comment on how many shots it takes to break the bands in. That's not something I've sort of experimented with really. The other one probably shot about 60 shots with it the other day. Well, I've used it a couple of times now, so possibly 100 shots have been through the other slingshot. So that will make a difference. But the band's being tighter, does that make that much difference? I don't know. The other thing that I think that's thrown my accuracy on that test is I hadn't actually noticed, but the wrist brace was slightly off straight. There is a little bit of movement on this, and also on the what do we call it, the frame. I've just put these bands on, and they're not easy to put on at all. You've got to really give them a good shove and get a bit of heat in them to get them to go on the forks properly. But I need to loosen that screw and straighten that up slightly, because that's obviously going to affect your accuracy. That's not quite straight there. So it's just got one screw securing the forks in place. Just loosen that a little bit now and turn this, because that's off square there. Something I didn't notice when I started shooting it. That can move out of alignment, just so you know, anyway. I'm trying to line it up square with the top of the pistol grip, or the top of the slingshot frame. I think that's a bit squarer now, so I'll tighten that up. Both slingshots have got the same fitting. There's a channel around the front of this, the top of the pistol grip, where the frame slots in, and a screw to tighten it up and hold it tight there. This one, the wrist brace, that just slots into a groove there on the bottom. This one slots into the two holes at the back. It's two separate pieces, and then there's also a screw to tighten that up a bit as well. So there's a little bit of play on both of them, but the wrist brace so much shouldn't affect your accuracy. That's just to lock it into your arm, but the frame the forks on top, they really need to be straight. So I'll try a few more shots with the Cobra now, just to see if that's made any difference. I'll just put 5 in the lower part of the centre of the trailer. Yeah, that's definitely more accurate straight away. So that's something to look out for. Make sure the frame is straight and square, not loose. Well, with 5, that's pretty much as accurate as the group on the left there now, with the Barnett Diablo. So basically, I don't think there's much in it between the two shooting them. It just comes down to preference of which one you find more comfortable to shoot. They both feel the same in your hand because they've both got the same pistol grip. But to shoot, there's not much in it. I'm sort of preferring the Barnett Diablo, but I think I'd have to shoot a few hundred or 100 each or something in each to decide which is my favourite. I do like the way this one locks into your wrist, but then this one's quicker to put on your hand. It just fits on top. I should really do a test to see how it shoots with and without the stabilisers. Perhaps I'll do a few shots without them now to compare that, because that would be a good comparison to see what difference the stabiliser weights make. So I'll put 10 in the top of the side of the trailer without the stabilisers and see what the difference is. Okay, so the stabilisers, they just unscrew. It's partly why I went for this one, because you've got the choice of whether to have them on or off anyway. It does make it a lot more compact without them. When you buy just the Diablo, it just looks like that, but the pistol grip's green on that one instead of grey. Probably a nicer colour, but I'm going to try 10 now with it just like that. So far so good. Tempted to leave them off if it shoots as well. That's 10. And they're just as close together as the 10 with the stabilizer bars, so I suppose the other thing to do is to try it at a further distance, but if at that distance it's the same, we're tempted to leave them off because it's much more compact and easier to fit in the car with all the other stuff I've got in the car. Looks a bit weird for me now I've taken them off. It's a lot lighter as well. Yeah, so I'm getting on quite well with this Pro Diablo. Yes, perhaps if there's some pro slingshot shooters out there, perhaps you can comment on the bands from new. When are they at their best for shooting? After how many shots? It's not something I've thought about before. I'm going to try this Black Widow. I've never shot a Black Widow slingshot before. This is an old one. I found it at, I think I found it in a skip years ago. Been chucked out because there was no bands on it, most likely. So that's really neat, that, the way it just folds up and could fit in a coat pocket. I have doubts whether it would shoot as well as those other two. And the forks are closer together on this one. Who knows what difference that's going to make. Well, I'll try a few shots with this one now. I've got a shorter band on this one as well. It's a Barnett band, but it's a shorter one. So got a patch on the bottom right of the trailer. Put a few on that now. It's actually shooting a lot better than I thought it would for something so small. I thought it would be a bit more all over the place, but because it's braced to your wrist, helps a bit with the accuracy. Definitely not as accurate as those two, but like I said, it shoots pretty well. It's definitely not as comfortable to shoot as the other two. The front of the wrist brace there seems to dig into your wrist a bit. It's not long enough to sort of fit over your wrist nicely. Well, when it's pulled back it's not too bad, but it's not quite as comfortable anyway. But for something so compact, it's pretty good. Paintball split as I let go of it though. Yeah, so definitely not as accurate as the other two, but that's quite good fun to shoot as well. And these Black Widow slingshots, they're really cheap to buy. I think you can buy one for about 10 quid new, and the grips on the new ones are a little bit different. I think they're a bit more rubbery soft touch like the other ones, so that'll be better again. I've gone back a bit further this time just to try with and without the stabilizers, just to get a better test for it. I'll only shoot about 5, there's not much space left on the trailer now. I'll go for the sort of gap in the centre. Well, that hit the centre blob, so I'll keep shooting there or just above it perhaps. Yeah, 3 will do just to get a feel for it. I'll put the stabilisers on and put 3 through with that. I think the answer to experimenting with the accuracy with and without stabilisers is to use the steel BBs on a proper target. So that's one for another video probably. Okay, 3 shots with the stabilisers back on. That felt slightly more accurate to me. I think the extra weight is keeping it more stable. So possibly a little bit more accurate with them on. It's all good fun though anyway.